Our next witness will be Congressman Raul Grijalva. Been a member of Congress since 2003, representing the 3rd District of Arizona. He began his career in public service as a community organizer in Tucson and served on the Tucson Unified School District Governing Board and the Pima County Board of Supervisors. Representative Grijalva is a ranking member of the House Natural Resources Committee and the co-chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and appreciate this opportunity, and as well to Chairwoman of the DNC, appreciate the opportunity as well. And to all the members of the committee, it's an important function that you have to set the template for what we hope is, and we all want, is a unified party that goes forward. And the responsibility for that template rests here, and from what I've heard today and know of each one of you, it's in good hands, and we look forward to the product. I want to talk about immigration reform, the importance that it has in the platform, and put it in the context of what we're facing right now. The Republican nominee has made race, immigration, as his bylines in terms of generating fear, and with that fear, converting that into support for his candidacy. And he has been outrageous and racist all the way through this. And the Republican leadership in Congress and at higher levels across this country are behaving like the Vichy French. They're enabling, coddling, and empowering this vision that their nominee is promoting across this country. And I think this committee, quite frankly, has an opportunity to take the moral high ground on the issue of immigration reform, and take the high ground by insisting that this is a priority for this party. Take the high ground by adding specificity to the platform and not generalities. And in doing so, consolidate the future strengths of this party going forward. You know, immigration and elections, and particularly from almost exclusively from the Republican Party, it's either cannon fodder or it becomes collateral damage at the end of an election cycle. And the points that I wanted to make with you today, having to do with, I think, our important policy priorities, and with your indulgence and your staffs, Mr. Chairman, provide them follow up with more specificity on some of these points, but I just want to touch on some. I think we have to address the criminalization of immigrants and address immigration policies that end automatic deportation and detention. We have to restore due process for immigrants and repeal those unnecessary barriers to legal migration and immigration. We must ensure immigrant victims of workplace exploitation are eligible for a visa that would allow them to pursue their claims, whether it's wage theft, exploitation, and denial of benefits, and no health and safety. In addition, we must ensure that due process is part of the immigration process. And we must end this very perverse 34,000 bed quota for private for-profit prisons that I think is one of the major drivers of this detention and deportation policy that we've been following for too long. And we gotta be bold about family unity. You know, that is a value exploited by the other party, a value that we do value. And I think that has to be part of it, keeping families together, and that our policies don't discriminate against women. And this will help end the separation of families. And I think we have to deal with another issue, the deportation of U.S. veterans, and reach out to them and begin the process of reintegrating them. These are people that were legal residents, legal permanent residents, weren't citizens, committed an offense, did their time, and at the end of that time, they were deported out of the country. These are decorated veterans that fought in every one of our theaters and every one of our conflicts across the world, and they deserve better treatment than that. And I want to just end with what I hope is some specific points. I think we need to reinstate the discretion that immigration judges don't have anymore. We need to eliminate mandatory detention. We need to repeal programs that entangle local law enforcement with federal immigration law and authorities. We have to repeal the unnecessary 3- and 10-year bars that are barriers to legal immigration and family unification. Update our definition of aggravated felonies. If we look in the broad sense of criminal justice reform, the detention policies around the issue of immigration fit into that discussion. And I say, and I bring this forth because as we go forward and unifying this party and defeating the Republican nominee and having an opportunity to reclaim the Senate and reclaim state houses and governorships and closing the gap, if not winning outright in the House, I think setting a moral high ground, a much higher bar than we've talked about with immigration reform that it has been in the past, that we have an opportunity to consolidate and receive the strong, strong support of people that feel that this issue is not only an issue about immigrants and undocumented, but that it's the broad brush that it sweeps across people of color is with racial profiling, detention, and deportation, and the violence that we've heard from the Republican nominee all lead to the conclusion that this party has an opportunity to lead, set a high ground, and have an immigration reform plank that talks about the future, is bold, and not afraid. With that, thank you very much.
Questions? Any questions? Yes.
Oh, is this your microphone?
Oh, this
Sorry.
yours. No, no, this yours. This yours.
Okay. I have a comment. As for, the other party being so xenophobic, they forget that all of us are immigrants. Of course, unless we're Native American, we are all immigrants. We all came from someplace else. And I just wanted to just commend you for your comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.